Hey, Scholar. So today we're going to talk about fact and opinion. And this is, again, at this point from here until the end of the school year, a lot of the language arts and the math lessons are kind of review, just kind of going over things, again, that we've already talked about. So we've done, at the beginning of the year, we talked about fact and opinion, and we've talked about it a bit throughout the year. But I just want to kind of spiral back around and go back around to it. So, I sent you a bunch of these, and I want you to go ahead and follow along. I'm going to read it aloud. So, pizza is a type of food. Pizza is the best food. Although these two sentences are about the same topic, they're very different. One's a fact and one's an opinion. So, the fact is pizza is a type of food. That is a fact. Is pizza the best food? Maybe. Maybe you think it is. Maybe I don't like pizza. So, I could say coffee is the best drink in the world. I love coffee. It's so delicious. Yes, super yummy. Best drink in the world. But if you were to ask my mom thinks coffee is disgusting, which is so weird to me. But that is definitely my opinion. And it's definitely her opinion that coffee is not the best drink in the world. So when we're talking about facts, those are things that can be verified and that are true, right? I could say, today is May the 4th. It's actually Sunday. I know you're getting this on Monday, but I'm coming in to do your lessons a little early. That's a fact. I could say today is the best day in the world. That would be more of an opinion. Maybe some people don't particularly care for the month of May, or maybe some people don't really like May the 4th or whatever. Maybe they want another day. Maybe they think Christmas Day is the best day. So what you're going to do in these lessons, so like on this sheet further down on the page, it has a picture of a bicycle, and can you come up with a fact about a bicycle? So if we're thinking about a bicycle, here we have that bicycle, and we're thinking about some facts. We could think, well, it has two wheels, it has pedals, it's a type of transportation. There are lots of different facts that we could come up with a bicycle. In this picture, it's black and white, so we can't say what color it is. But if it were a color picture, then we could say it's red or it's orange or whatever color it is. Those would be facts. Now, if I were to come up with an opinion about this bicycle, I could say it's so fun to ride, or I could say I hate riding a bike and it's not fun to ride. I could say the bicycle is the best form of transportation. That would kind of be more of an opinion. That would be my thoughts. Maybe I love riding a bicycle, but maybe you love riding your scooter or your roller skates or rollerblades or something else, or driving in a car or taking a train. So that would be the difference between the opinions. So a fact, and I'm just going to go ahead and write this down. Facts are true statements. So that would be something that you can verify that this is true. If you were to look up the definition for a bicycle, you would see, yes, it has two wheels. Yes, it has pedals. Yes, it's a form of transportation. Even if it's something that's outside of what common knowledge is, because we all know what a bicycle is. But even if we were going outside of that realm, then we would be able to come up with some facts about it. Opinions are a little bit different. Opinions are a person's or groups' thoughts, feelings, or beliefs. About something. And you can have an opinion about literally anything. You can have an opinion on the best day of the week. You can have an opinion on a football game, or on a football team, or on a color, or on the type of flower, or a type of food. You can literally have an opinion about anything, just like there are facts about the same things, right? So the opinion is more how you feel, how you believe, how you think, whereas a fact is more, this is a proven fact. And so when you're doing your work, so sometimes it's hard to kind of spot the difference between what is an opinion, what is a fact, and how do you know? So it's very helpful to ask two simple questions. So I'm just going to let you take a look at this again, and then I'm going to erase it real quickly. And then I'm going to write the two questions that if you're not quite sure, let me lock that down. If you're not quite sure if something is an opinion or something's a fact, I'm going to give you two questions that you could ask yourself, and that should help you figure it out. So to help you determine a fact or opinion, ask yourself, number one, is this something that can be, make that look a little, be proven? True. And number two, is this something that is a personal belief? So I could say a dog is an animal. That's true, right? You can prove that's true. I could say a dog is the best animal and the best pet you could have. That's definitely an opinion. So if it's something that can be proven, then it would be a fact. If it's something that someone just believes, that's more of an opinion. And so in your work that I have for you, you're going to be a detective, and you're going to work on figuring out who did the crime. And so you have these pages here, right? And we have the different characters. And then, there are a couple more. And then we have each one. So we have a case number 1, case number 2, 3. There are a bunch of different cases, right? And you're trying to figure out who did it based on the facts and opinions. So we're going to do this first one together. So I want you to look at case number 1, and this is the wrecked window. And so read along, follow along as I read it out loud. Late last night, the Brown family heard a loud crash. They ran outside and saw a car speeding down the street. The front window was broken and a large rock was on the ground nearby. Who could have done this dastardly deed? Can you crack the case? So, number 1 says, the driver of the car had blue eyes and looked like a mean person. So let's think about that statement. Blue eyes, that would be a fact, right? Look like a mean person? Well, that's kind of more of an opinion. What does a mean person look like? Maybe someone thinks that this kind of mean scowl face, maybe they think that's a nice face. So let's look. And so if you look, you could see we have a lot of people with blue eyes. Well, we have a couple people. So we have Fifi French, has blue eyes, and Purpleata has blue eyes, and Mayor Mudd has blue eyes, and Madam X has blue eyes. And that's all that's on this page. Now, let's look at number 2. So it's got to be one of these people. So if you look at these, like none of them really have a mean look, right? So let's look at number 2. The neighbor. I saw a woman and she had funny colored hair. Well, maybe some people think that black is a funny color. Maybe some people think that purple is a funny color. So that could be anything. There is a fact in there. It's a woman, but the color of hair is the opinion. So the women we have are Fifi French, Purpleetta, Madam X, and Cowgirl Sal. Okay, now the next one we have the Brown Sun says, the driver was wearing a red hat and had the biggest nose in town. Well, there's only one person who has a red hat, and that's Fifi French. But does she have a big nose? I don't think that's kind of more of an opinion. So there's only one person with a red hat that's a fact. The rest of it, the nose part, that's an opinion. And then number 4, the driver looked angry and was wearing gold earrings. So again, looking angry, it's kind of more of an opinion, but let's look at the earrings. So if you see on this page, Cowgirl Sal is not wearing earrings. And then on this page, Madam X is wearing red earrings. Purpleetta is wearing green earrings. Fifi French is wearing gold earrings. So once we're done compiling all of our evidence and finding all of our data, we have to look and see. So Fifi French and Fifi French are here. Fifi French is in this one, and Fifi French is in this one. So that tells you that the person who broke the window was Fifi French, despite the fact that there was a bunch of opinion in there as far as the size of her nose and the mean look and all of that. If you look through just the facts, then you'll find the facts to solve the cases. So you have, there are several of them that go all the way through, let's see, to number 8. So there are 8 of them. So go ahead and read through them and just look at, remember, you have to look at just the facts. Don't look at the opinions of it. Look at just the facts. So if you have any questions or need any more help, just have Mom shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to go over this with you again. Talk to you later. Bye.